Hello and welcome to the TankSpot Blackwing Descent raid guide. My name is Aliena, and in this video I'll show you all you have to know about Magmaw, one of the first bosses you encounter in this instance. We completed this fight with 1 tank, 7 healers and 17 DPS, but similar raid configurations may do just as well. Magmaw has 2 different phases and a lot of abilities. In the first regular phase, you deal normal damage to him and your goal is to keep the fight controlled by keeping everyone healed and killing adds in a timely manner. In the second phase, when correctly executed, you deal double damage to Magmaw while your healers can replenish their mana. Let's start going over Magmaw's phase 1 abilities and how to deal with them. First up, positioning. You want to have 3 basic camps, one for your tank, one for your melee, and one for your ranged attackers and healers. Both the ranged and the melee need to have room to change their camps by at least 15 yards or so. This is because of Magmaw's signature ability, Pillar of Flame. Pillar of Flame has a short cast time and is usually directed at a random ranged raid member, but can occasionally target a melee. When Magmaw casts it, a red swirl shows up on the ground of the targeted raid member, and 2 seconds after, a pillar will erupt in its spot, and anyone remaining in the area will get lifted into the air and take massive damage. That's not all, however. Along with the damage, lots of lava parasites will drop onto the ground from where the pillar erupted. These little guys are vicious. If they manage to attack a raid member, that person will get infected with a debuff, and after 10 seconds that debuff will explode, dealing a ton of damage to anyone around and spawning more parasites. To avoid this, it's really important to make sure that no raid member gets hit by the pillar and everybody moves as soon as they're aware of it. Once the swirl appears, immediately have a hunter apply a frost trap to the area, and then have your ranged raid members, and potentially some of your rogues if you have trouble taking them down in time, take out the parasites. Pillar of Flame is roughly on a 30-second cooldown timer, so that sets the time frame you have to kill all the parasites. Magmaw will also occasionally attempt to eat your tank with an ability called Mangle. When he places this on your tank, he takes massive damage every 5 seconds, and after 30 seconds he will be unable to take any action while Magmaw does his om nom nom thing. To counter this, either run 2 tanks, or if you prefer to do it with 1 tank, have him use a strong cooldown right before the timer is up. All throughout phase 1, Magmaw will shoot the raid with Lava Spew, ranged missiles that hit everyone and need to be healed through. His last phase 1 ability is Ignition. Ignition happens every phase 1 and will ignite about half the room. It's easily visible since the ground starts steaming. To counter it, make sure your raid always keeps somewhat close to the middle of the room and can easily change sides. Phase 2 happens when Magmaw slumps forward and the emote Magmaw slumps forward exposing his pincers appears. When this happens, 3 melee need to jump onto his head using the spike and spam the ability they then gain, Constricting Chains. If executed correctly, after a short while Magmaw's head will become impaled on the spike, and he will take double damage while being unable to do anything himself. This is the perfect opportunity for Bloodlust, Time Warp, and Heroism, and also for your healers to regen some mana. After a little while, Magmaw will recover and phase 1 starts over. It's worth noting that if there's no one in Magmaw's melee range, he'll enrage and basically wipe the raid, so make sure to always have people near him. That about covers Magmaw's abilities. I'll attach a video of the full encounter so you can see in detail how we dealt with his various mechanics. Good luck and have fun! This is shortly after engaging Magmaw. We are on our second worm phase here, and as you can see, the healers are just trying to keep everybody up while all the ranged are focusing down the worms. Some melee stay on Magmaw the entire time, but the whole point of phase 1 is really just controlling the adds and keeping everybody alive. You still deal damage to Magmaw, but phase 2 is just so much more efficient. Here we hit our first phase 2. You can see he's chained right now. He's slumped forward, he's impaled on the spike. Everybody's dealing major damage. Healers have time to recover. Hymn of Hope. All the mana, regening abilities are being used right now. It's good because there's so much damage going out throughout phase 1 that you really do need some time to recover, at least with how the gear level is right now. Now he's about to come back up here, and shortly after he comes back out, phase 2, he's going to use Pillar of Flame. At first we had some issues with actually seeing Pillar of Flame since there's so many projected textures now with all the healers having their little circles on the ground. What we found useful was that Bigwigs actually has an emote of sorts that tells you when Pillar of Flame is about to come up. So that was really helpful for us. It's not the timer, the timer was inaccurate, but actually just having on your screen saying it's being cast right now is enough time to get away from it. So whenever that happened, we would move to the other point that you can see as it marked a star over there. Whenever the worms got really close to the ranged pile, we'd have a boomkin use Typhoon to knock them back, so we wouldn't get caught in them. Once you figure out the sequence of events here, it's really a fairly easy encounter. The most trouble we had was finding a way to deal with the ads. We tried having a tank them, which didn't work out too well because he took the debuff and spawned more, so we were just constantly fighting the ads. But then when we started slowing them and just not having them touch us, it was actually really easy. That's all the tips I got, so again, good luck and have fun.